What's up, folks? Your buddy Fatalroadie. Today we're doing a Raw recap. We started off with a Hell in a Cell recap.
Oh, for God's sake.
This leading down to Seth Rollins burning down the Firefly Funhouse. Then we go to the ring and we have Ric Flair coming out. He slurs up Crown Jewel, and then he introduces his final member to the team, Drew McIntyre. McIntyre talks up Crown Jewel and his team and what he's going to be doing to his opponent tonight, which is Ricochet. This is a really good power versus speed match. You got Drew McIntyre tossing Ricochet all over the ring, and Ricochet showing off his agility and high flying. Ricochet gives everything, but Drew McIntyre hits him with the Claymore kick and gets the pin. It was a good match. It had a good runtime to it as well. After the match, Drew McIntyre beats down Ricochet, finishing it off with an Alabama slam into the steps. We then go to a Street Profits OC recap. Then after a backstage interview with the OC and a Raw draft showcase, we got Aleister Black back in his room looking for a fight. Which is going to be next? Aleister Black versus a jobber. Guess what? Glorified squash match. Aleister Black won it after a black mass. Then we got the King's Court with Jerry Lawler. His guest is going to be Rusev. Lawler opens up, well, this is going to be tough to talk about. Then why fucking talk about it? God damn it. We then see the Titantron where Bobby Lashley and Lana are at a restaurant.
And to make a long story short, too late.
Rusev is going to the restaurant to fake them. Great, can't wait to see this happening. We then have Andrade versus Sin Cara. This was another good long match. There was a lot of action. Zelina Vega interfered. Again, shocker. Andrade hit the hammerlock DDT, gets the pin. Like I said, good match, had a good long run time. I was really happy with this one. We then go backstage where the Street Profits cut a promo on the OC, and R-Truth loses his 24/7 title to one of the Singh brothers. In another backstage interview, we have Umberto Carillo, who's looking like a Power Ranger. He wants to be the champ and then takes a quick shot at Seth Rollins. We then got the Viking Raiders versus Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder. This was a shocking match. Hawkins and Ryder won it.
What?
I'm kidding. They got their asses kicked by the Viking Raiders. We then go back to the restaurant where Rusev charges after Bobby Lashley, and then security comes after him and then splits everybody apart, taking Rusev out of the restaurant. We then have Rey Mysterio coming out. He thanks the crowd and everybody for their support. He talks up the Cain Velasquez-Brock Lesnar match at Crown Jewel. Then Paul Heyman shows up on the Titantron. After a tete-a-tete between Heyman and Mysterio, Shelton Benjamin comes out. He tells Mysterio that Brock Lesnar is his family, and if he beats up on Mysterio, he'll get a title shot as well. He starts to push Mysterio. Cain Velasquez comes out. Benjamin tries to take Velasquez down, but Velasquez shows him up, making Benjamin tap out. So I'm probably going to think somewhere later on down the line we're going to have Rey Mysterio and Cain Velasquez versus Shelton Benjamin and Brock Lesnar in a tag match. We then go back to a backstage interview with Seth Rollins. He's talking about how the Fiend got into his head. And then in true Seth Rollins fashion, he starts getting distracted because something is off in his peripheral vision.
Hello?
And it's Umberto Carrillo. So he goes over to him, welcomes him to Raw, and gives him a match what's going to be next. I think this one whole spot was pretty much just the talk segment that we usually get at the beginning of the show. Dude. So we got Seth Rollins versus Umberto Carrillo. Through part of this match, the crowd was chanting, "We want Wyatt." This was another good match. It had a good runtime as well. Carrillo was making a good showing of the match, taking it to Seth Rollins. There was a good bit of back and forth. Seth Rollins hit the curb stomp and got the pin. After the match, Seth Rollins showed some respect to Carrillo with a handshake. Like I said, it was a good match. I really don't think they should have jobbed out Carrillo, though. I think this would have been a huge step up if they would have let him win. Backstage, R-Truth tries to pin the wrong Singh brother in an attempt to get back his title. Oops. Then we go to our main event, the Street Profits versus the OC. This is the match debut of the Street Profits. They come out, they run through the crowd. When the OC come out, AJ has a microphone. He runs down the Street Profits, asking if their tag team partner was imaginary. Turns out this is going to be just a straight tag team match. I really don't know what happened here. This was a decent match, a good point of the way through. AJ Styles interferes. The referee goes to eject him. Kevin Owens comes out. He gives AJ a stunner. Montez Ford hits a frog splash on Carl Anderson, gets the pin, and the Street Profits celebrate through the crowd as we end tonight's SmackDown. I really don't know why we didn't have Kevin Owens in the match, because they were billing this to be a six-man tag, but they just switched it up at the last minute, I guess. I don't know. This was actually a really good Raw. I was surprised. The matches were awesome, with the exception of 2 squash matches, albeit they were good, but they're, squash matches. They're just filler. I will say I am honestly surprised at the Street Profits. Like I said, I really never got into NXT, so I didn't see what they did back there. Then when they got brought over to the main roster, they're pretty much just WWE hype men. So I was really interested to see what they were going to do in the ring. And their in-ring debut on the main roster Awesome showing. I like them. And I'm looking forward to see more matches with them. So, good on you, Street Profits. But that'll do it for this episode of Raw Recap. I'll be back later this week for the SmackDown review. Leave a comment down below what you thought of tonight's Raw, what you thought about this video. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to share and subscribe. I've been Fatalroadie. You've been awesome. Thank you very much for watching. And remember, if it's too loud, you're too old. See ya.